I think everyone's here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm going to go ahead and lead us in the pledge to start the meeting off, and then say a few words, and then we'll go ahead and go through the line table by table and go ahead and get our food, and then the program will start shortly thereafter. So let me lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Real briefly, tell you why we're here today. We're here today because we wanted to recognize and honor you, our first responders, our hometown heroes, for going out of your way each and every day to protect us. While we honor and give thanks to all our first responders, today you're here because you've been chosen for special recognition by your peers and by your commanding officers for exemplary service, going above and beyond the call of duty. So I think all of you deserve a great big round of applause. The mayor is going to be here, but he's not here now. I found out that we have a conflict. There's a ribbon cutting today for the CSX Intermodal Terminal, so that's exciting news. But several other people couldn't be here today. Rochelle Small Tony couldn't be here. The mayor will be here later, and Z. Lamb will be here, I believe, if he's not here yet. There's a Nash County manager, but Eric Evans couldn't be here today. Let's go ahead and bow our heads. Father, we pause to give you thanks today for these men and women and all other first responders who go out of their way every day, often putting their lives in danger to protect us and keep us safe. We ask that you do not let us ever take for granted what they do. We also thank you for the men and women of our armed services who protect the freedoms we're so blessed with in this country. Lord, thank you for this day and for all the other blessings you bestow on us each and every day. We ask that you bless this food for the nourishment of our bodies and us to your service. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Okay, at this time I'd like to introduce our mayor, Sandy Robertson. Mayor Robertson was elected in 2019 and has quickly led initiatives supporting safer neighborhoods, economic development, job growth, stronger educational opportunities, affordable housing, and the community working together as one Rocky Mount. His goals include creating accountability among elected officials, as well as making life better for all citizens of Rocky Mount. Mayor Robertson.
Thank you very much. You know, I think Neil is trying to make me feel like a first responder, at least as it relates to the fire department. So in the middle of your meal, I need you to get up here and start speaking right now. But, you know, I do want to welcome everyone here today. I want to thank the Nelsons and Davenport for putting this on, because what you do provide for us is an invaluable service. When you look at the marketability and the livability within communities, it's all about the first responders. It's all about public safety. It's all about having confidence that when you make that phone call, that somebody's going to show up to help you in your most dire and most honest hour of need. And so you guys do that. You do it well. I've been utilizing your services for many years, about 54 now, and you've never let me down yet. So I do want to thank you for what you do every day, all day long, putting your life on the line, being at risk in all times. The service that you provide is often not thanked at levels that it needs to be thanked, but I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want you to know that I'm an advocate of what you do. And if you need anything from me, my office, or anything I can do to propel your mission, please let me know, because it is important that we keep our morale up. It's important that we have mission-driven agencies such as yourself. It's important that we're able to fully staff. It's important that we are able to provide the highest level of training. And so for all those things, I just want to thank you for being here. So in closing, what I'll say is if the pandemic didn't show us all, it certainly should have, that not all of our heroes wear capes. And so I want to thank you for what you do and who you are. So Neil.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, now I'd like to call up our Executive Director for North Carolina Auto Dealers Association, Bob Glasser. Robert Glasser is the current president of North Carolina Automobile Dealers Association, representing North Carolina's new car, truck, and RV dealers across North Carolina. He has initiated and coordinated the efforts of franchise dealers in programs such as the North Carolina Teacher of the Year program, which we participate in, the Support Our Troops program, the World War II Flight of Honor program, which is flying 821 World War II vets to Washington, D.C., and the North Carolina Hometown Heroes program. And here's Bob to tell you a little bit more about this program.
Neil, thank you very much. As Neil said, my name is Bob Glasser. I'm the president of the North Carolina Auto Dealer Association, and we represent the 582 new car and truck dealers across the state. Interesting thing is we voted 6 years ago to start the Hometown Heroes Project, and it was a decision by the board of directors, which represents dealers from all across the state. But one thing I say before that is that I just want to thank the Davenport team, the Nelson team, and one of the things in the auto industry is we have about 30 car dealers across the state who have won the highest honor in our industry. The highest honor in our industry is what's called the NCADA Lifetime Achievement Award. One of the people is here today. So Mr. Joe Nelson, let me just give you a round of applause. It's literally, Joe, it's literally the highest honor in the automotive industry, and thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do for Rocky Mount. Let me talk a little about the Hometown Heroes. As Neil said, the auto dealers look for, what we do is we try to do what's best for the community. Very successful businessmen and women, but we believe that our role extends from our dealership to our communities. And as you said, Neil, we've done things like the Teacher of the Year program. We flew 821 World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to see their monument 10 years ago. As I was telling someone today at lunch, I was in Washington, D.C. I was standing in front of the Marine Corps Memorial, has the 6 people raising the flag in Arlington Cemetery. I'm standing next to a guy, and he said, I saw that. And he was on Iwo Jima when they raised the flag on Mount Suribachi, and the gentleman is 91 years old standing right next to me. I mean, how much do you pay for something like that? You know, so let me talk a little about the Hometown Heroes Project. We started it 6 years ago, a 15th anniversary of 9/11. The dealers looked around the country. We saw what was happening. We saw what was taking place in communities across the nation where you guys were being held to sort of a different standard. I mean, things were changing. And we saw that. We thought, you know, it's time that somebody takes the lead and steps up to recognize what you guys do. So for the past 5 years, we've recognized over 500 first responders across the nation, and it culminates on December 7th, where Governor Cooper is going to recognize about 50 or 60 first responders in Raleigh, and it's like I said, it's our 6th time we've done it, and it's truly a remarkable event. I tell people all the time, you guys are the people who run in when others are running out. You guys are the people who are the first to show up at that car wreck. You're the first to go into that burning house. You're the first to answer the phone of somebody who's being abused or somebody who's being threatened with murder. What you do is the Lord's work. And we as an industry can't pay you enough, and we can't thank you enough for what you do. One first responder I met in Hickory, he said, Bob, thank you very much. I'm not a hero. I just want to go home with my wife and kids. At the end of my shift, I just want to go home. I want to go home, put my shorts on, and have a glass of wine with my neighbor. I want to go home and watch my kids' soccer team. You know, I do what I do because I love it, but I'm not a hero. I'm a guy in the community who believes in what he does and wants to be like everybody else. So with that said, Neil, Graham, Joe, I just want to say thank you very much for what you do. It's truly an honor that you guys and Mr. Mayor, that these guys stepped up to recognize the first responders. And it's our privilege and pleasure to be here with you today. So, thank you. So with that, Neil, I turn it back to you. And I just say literally on behalf of all you guys, where's Kobe? Kobe, we have t-shirts for everybody? Yeah, we have a lot of t-shirts. We have a bunch of different sizes. Please make sure you take them on your way out of here. But on behalf of all dealers in North Carolina, all franchise dealers in North Carolina, thank you guys for what you do. It's our privilege and pleasure to recognize you guys. Turn it back to you, Neil.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Okay, now, without further ado, we're going to call by department, the Rocky Mountain Police Department, to give out the awards to the recipients. So we've got Graham here and gentleman from NCADA. Kobe. Yeah, Kobe. Sorry about that, Kobe. Yes, sir. Okay. So.
Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Ballard from the Rocky Mountain Police Department. I'm here in lieu of Chief Hassel. He had a prior engagement, and he wishes everyone well, and he wishes he could be here. He had a chance and opportunity to speak to each of our nominees yesterday, one of them in person, one of them by phone yesterday about 6 o'clock in the evening. I was in the middle of dinner, and he was on a three-way with me and Sergeant Middlesworth, congratulating her. So anyway, he never stops working. He's a 24-hour chief. So he was working today, and he's at a commissioner's meeting, and he had to choose, and he's the director there, so he had to choose that one first. But no further ado, our runner-up was Sergeant Middlesworth. Sergeant Middlesworth started her career as a in the Marine Corps, and she came to the police department with the BLET. She worked for me for a little while, and I had the great pleasure of telling everybody that she was the North Carolina's strongest woman. When she came to work for us, she held the state record for the woman's bench press in North Carolina. So now she continues that sport. She's a pro power lifter now. She's our only ranking female officer in the police department right now as far as leadership. She provides leadership for everyone in the department, including our female officers, above and beyond through training, mentorship, and everything that goes along with that. But come on up, Ms. Middlesworth. She's going to the front. Ms. Middlesworth was our runner-up. Our second nominee that won the award through much litigation or deliberation and nominations from his peers is Mr. Tony Taylor. He's an SPO and SRO, and he's been in the law enforcement he's been with us for 17 years. That's the one person that we were able to steal from Nash County. He came from us after 4 years, I think, with Nash County, and he is a wonderful role model for all of the students at Rocky Mountain High School. He's been there for about 6 years, and well known. Y'all might know him better from his YouTube video and his cheerleading uniform during the pep rally a couple of weeks ago. I think that's what won, and we told him it was his pretty legs that got him one. But Tony Taylor is a great officer. He's worked for me as a officer. I was his sergeant. I worked beside him. I was his lieutenant, and I still supervise him to this day, down the chain a little bit. But he's a great officer and a great asset to the police department and the community of Rocky Mountain.
Okay. Next, we'll call Rocky Mount Fire Department Fire Chief Corey Mercer.
Good afternoon. The mission of the City of Rocky Mount Fire Department is to protect the citizens' life and property through quality and excellent service. Every day we come to work, that's our creed, and that's what we live by daily. A lot of times you see these fire trucks going up and down the road, and there's a lot that goes with that. There's a lot of behind the scenes that go with us being able to come to a house, put the fire out, or come and assist the EMS with a medical call. And it starts with our logistics department. The first person that we're going to talk about is our logistics admin, and she comes from us from the Parks and Recs department. She's been with us for almost a year. She transitioned over to the fire department, and she she came in hitting the ground running. She's been with the city for 17 years with Parks and Recs and Athletic Division, where she done a stand-up job. She's from Northwest Halifax, out of Littleton. She graduated from Edgecombe Community College with a social degree in Office Systems Technology, and also she has a degree in Office Administration. She's currently pursuing a business administration degree. She has 3 daughters, 2 grandsons, and 2 granddaughters. Her hobbies are cooking, gardening, and photography, and we just found that out, so we're gonna put some of that to use. Christine is a pillar in the community. A lot of people know her in the community where she volunteers and helps the local sports program. She has a passion for athletics, and we really appreciate her. So the first honoree is Christine Bullock. The next honoree that we'd like to recognize is Christine's boss, Captain Jonathan Malinowski. Malinowski started out with the United States Marine Corps in 1987 through 1996. He's been with the fire department since 1997. He held positions of firefighter, senior firefighter, training officer, and currently serves as the logistics captain. He is married to his wife, Tammy, for 24 years. He has an associate degree in fire protection technology, a bachelor's degree in business, and a master's degree in public administration. Away from work, ski like his hobbies are being away from work. So he's a member of Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Church, and he enjoys blacksmithing. One thing that, and he's gonna get me for telling this story, I happened to sit on his hiring panel when he come to the fire department. And in the hiring panel, we had a system that when we look over your application and we see something that we don't like, you get the very short version. So we come in there and instead of asking 10 questions, we would ask 2 questions. On his application, it had inflict serious injury to personal property or something. And back then with the fire department, that didn't go well. So the police department might know more about it. So we said, we're gonna bring him on in here, Chief Mullins, so we'll ask him and we'll get him a chance to explain this. And we asked him, we said, well, Ski, how did can you tell us a little bit about this charge? He said, well, he was in the Marines, and with people in the military, they have a rough night drinking or whatever, and his friend gave him his apartment number or something. Well, he went to the wrong apartment and fell asleep in the wrong house. So the police gave him a charge, and he was able to clear that up. But we were this close to not having this guy, and he's probably one of the most important people in our department. So we were not able to judge that book by its cover. He is what keeps us going, and he is the backbone of our organization. So this goes to Jonathan Malinowski, the captain of logistics.
Okay, next we'll call Keith Stone for the Nash County Sheriff's Department.
Thank y'all for the opportunity to come. I want to say this room is not big enough for the heroes that are out here every day, up and down the road. We had to select one from our office. The guys and the girls that are out there every day are the ones that are the heroes. Each shift, we have like 7 people on each shift. Each one of those are heroes. So we look at something extraordinary that each one of you do, and that's coming to work every day and putting up with the burdens that you do today. The general public do not see the amount of thought process that goes into taking care of the public, from the fire, EMS, telecommunicators, and we've left one out, the emergency room workers, when people come in from the emergency rooms. But that's without saying that there is some that stand above at times, but put in the position, I have full thought that most of our people that wear a badge go above and beyond every day. Our nominee is Shelby Smith. She has been with the Sheriff's Office for 3 years. During that 3 years, she's been in Detective Bureau, and now she is currently a HSI agent with our office as a task force member. She previously worked criminal interdiction. Criminal interdiction is the most dangerous job that law enforcement will do every day. You don't go out and do anything but look for criminals and try to save them from the public. So I think it was February the 4th last year, her and her partner, William Tony, were working criminal interdiction on I-95. A individual comes by, Mr. Ford. She ends up stopping this individual. He has fled from Florida, went up north to hide out because he had shot 2 individuals and left them for dead. And he was creeping back to his home turf to hide out or continue his criminal activity. Still had the weapon that he possessed during the shooting down in Florida. She stops him on the interstate. After a quick assessment, calls for backup officer William Tony, who is not here today but is also a hero, comes up. After a conversation, they ask him out of the car, and they find out that criminal activity is part. They think he's armed. Her quick thinking is when they go to pat him down, he resists, pulls out a high-capacity weapon, and begins firing. Deputy Tony is caught up in the fire and is shot, and he retreats behind the vehicle. She continues trying to stop the threat and ends up in a shootout with the individual. And before the situation is resolved, is there giving first aid to William Tony, keeping him out of traffic, and stopping the threat. It goes without saying that the quick thinking, the quick ability to get her firearm, the proficiency in the firearm, and the training provided by her interdiction team supervisor saved her life and another officer's life. So if you would at this time, step up, please.
Awesome. I'd look around this room, and I think if anything were to happen in the country club right now, we'd be well protected. Next, we'll call the Edgecombe County Sheriff, Clee Atkinson.
Thank you guys once again. This is great, man. I'm having a good time. Got me out of the office. We can laugh and we can joke, man. We see guys smiling. My first honoree is Deputy Chris Pixley. Have you guys ever seen the cartoon The Underdog? That's telling my age a little bit. Chris, I got appointed sheriff April the 3rd, 2017, and he was my first deputy that I hired, coming off the top of my head, something like April the 29th. And when I think about the cartoon, The Underdog, they said, Sheriff, don't hire him. Because we can be cold, right? We can not want people to get opportunity, right? So don't hire him. He can't get it right. I would choose somebody else. And I said, you don't understand who you're talking to. I want him. Because once you get around a trainer, we make him better. I never call his name. And you guys in leadership know what I'm talking about. He does his job. He will not talk back to you. He's task oriented. He earns his check. He knows how to treat people. That's what we need in law enforcement. You guys agree? And in customer service is what I call it. When I think about Chris, we was at a situation one day of a wanted person, and I got out in a suit and tie, and he has a weapon out. He's following me everywhere I'm going, and I'm thinking I still can do this thing, Sheriff Stone. And I said, what are you doing? And the guy's barricaded in the house, and he's wanted. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm protecting you. I said, man, put that thing up, man. Listen, we've got to continue giving people chances. I like what you said, Chief. We've got to give people chances because some good people in these spots, we got to give them a chance. I thank God that I hired you, Chris, because you are an awesome brother, and I'm glad that you're part of my team. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Pixley. My second honoree, I call him a dinosaur. You guys know where I'm going with this. Over 25 years in law enforcement. Let me tell you something, 15 years with the Rocky Mount Police. We stole him too, Captain, I'm sorry. 15 years with the Rocky Mount Police Department, 6 years with Whitaker's. But when I found out that he was stepping away from law enforcement, and I'm telling you, nobody's knocking down myself and Sheriff Stone and Chief House's door to get into this line of work. And I don't know about you, Chief Mercer. I'm not you either. First responders, this is tough. It's a tough job. And I listen to what everybody has to say about first responders. And when I found out that Darrell Cofield was out of it, and he had given it up, and I said, man, this is one of the guys that I admired and worked with. These guys have got to come off the bench. And he's been back with me since 2018. As a school resource officer. He's one of the better school resource officers that I have in the county. I wanted to move him from Phillips Middle School in the north end of Edgecombe County, and the people threatened to not vote for me again if I moved him. So I said, hey, you might want to stay where you're at. But thank you, brother. He's a team-oriented player. If there was someone that would go before me when it's time to fight, I'm calling him off the bench. If there was someone to go before me that know how to talk to people and treat people, he's my guy. And I'm thankful that you didn't give this up for the citizens of Edgecombe County, the citizens of Rocky Mountain, that you didn't give this up, and you thought enough of everybody else to come back and be a part and still be a part of the law enforcement and first responders team. Ladies and gentlemen, Darrell Cofield.
Okay, next we'll call up the Edgecombe County EMS.
Good evening. My name's Chad Easton. I'm the EMS coordinator with Edgecombe County. I'll make this short and sweet. I ain't got all the, I ain't a public speaker. So the two nominees today that I nominated for several reasons: the work ethic, the strong ability to do their job. Everybody in this room is honored to be here. Y'all know what we have to go through on first responders, going to calls. We don't know where we're going to. We don't know what we're getting into, the whole 9 yards. So when these providers get there, they provide the utmost care. They provide for the citizens of their county. They're providing life. We're trying to provide, the same thing. They're trying to save it, and we're trying to save it. These first responders are at the top of their game and their level. Their patient interaction, their bedside manner, everything about them is exquisite. What we want, any agency that's here or anything, we want these two individuals in their squad or in their EMS agency. The first nominee is Sarah Lewis. A lot of you don't know, Edgecombe County EMS is a new agency. So on January 21st, 21, we decided our county decided to take over EMS system. So when we done that, I was part of the management there to incorporate this system and also to hire the employees for the chain of command. It was a long topic, a conversation, several. Both of these individuals on that conversation about putting in roles. Sarah was assistant supervisor, and Mr. Brown is a supervisor with us. He was with us at the agency for several years prior, and we hired him. Basically, we stole him, I guess, from the school system. But Mr. Brown has been with us since then and is a extraordinary supervisor.
And next we'll call up the Nash County EMS.
My name is Scott Rogers, and I'm Director of Emergency Services for Nash County. And I tell you, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. But here I am having to follow two sheriffs speaking. How about that, And both of them do pretty good too, but I'll do the best I can. I'd first like to say thank you to the Nelson family. I've had the honor of growing up in this community, and the Nelson family has been an institution as long as I can remember. And we thank you for what you do in our community, and we thank you very much. In emergency services or in Nash EMS, we brought two people today to present to you. I think Mr. Easton said it best when he described the way they treat their patients, the way they treat their customers and so forth. Everything that he said is the way they treat people, right? It's all about people. What we do is about people. And these two individuals that we brought today know how to treat people. They know how to treat others as they would like to be treated. And that's one of the things that really stood out to me. So the first representative or nominee that I'd like to bring forward is Ms. Kim Messer. Kim has been with our organization since 2006, I believe. She is a certified paramedic and serves as a field training officer, or what we affectionately call an FTO. And one of their big responsibilities, of course, is training what I consider to be the next generation, to train those coming behind us. And I think that that is one of the reasons that we decided to choose Kim, is that, again, she knows how to treat people, she knows how to train people, and she knows how to keep our organization moving forward in the future, and I'm very grateful to her for that. She also is not that she's old enough to be, but she's also known as the mom of our organization. She has a motherly love about her that she applies to everyone, and it's not. I hope you understand what I say when I say that it is not fake and not put on whatsoever. She truly cares for people and is always willing to help and always has a kind word and extends the hand to help anybody. So without further, our first nominee is Kim Messer. Our next nominee today is Jessica Cobb. Jessica comes from our communications division. She is a telecommunicator and has been with us since 17, I believe. When you describe why certain people get nominated to be here today in this room, her smile, her dedication to her work, and again, the way she treats everyone that she comes in contact with is what makes her a hero in my book. She is always, she works more than I do. I'll not tell that probably, but she works all the time. She's always willing to work, call back, and she always shows up. She actually works a peak schedule, so she never knows what day she's gonna work. She's always on a floating schedule, but she's always there, always has a smile, and always does a wonderful job at the work she does. She's not only certified in fire and EMS dispatch, but law enforcement as well, and just does a fantastic job for us. So Jessica, if you would come forward.
Outstanding. Well, I think that concludes the awards part of the program. I just want to thank all of you again for what you do for the community and keeping us safe and protecting us every day, putting your lives between us and danger. So I can't tell you how appreciative we are for what you all do. So again, thank you. And with that, yes, sir. Oh, okay, yes. For all the first responders, they have a Hometown Heroes t-shirt. So just come on up and grab one after when you get ready to go. Thank you all.